What's good, boys? How's it going? I'm here with Alvaro, the boy. He's just
Hey,
jumped in over. He's just started working with us one-on-one. He's literally just got started the business model, over the last month or two, I would say.
yeah,
So very fresh to this, probably newer than most of you guys. But I was flying out to Dubai anyway. So I was like, fuck it, bro, let me come out and link you. We had one-on-one calls. I was like, right, let's do them. But this next one, let's delay it a couple of days. I'll be out in Dubai. Let's link up. We'll run through, and I'm gonna put a whole board together and kind of go through the whole process with you. So that's what we're here for today. And yeah, bro, let's get it.
yeah,
Let's
let's get it.
hopefully drop some sauce and go through some interesting stuff. And there should be stuff that applies to everybody watching as well. So, obviously, we've discussed this a little bit, getting through the kind of basics of it, getting started and things. When it comes to, first off, picking a niche, the niche, the sub niche, the market, and everything like that, we've already kind of went through it a little bit. So, when it comes to picking a niche, something I always talk about with people, yourself, everybody else, is like, leverage and authority. So, we would try to find somewhere that you had leverage, and we had
Yeah,
multiple discussions about it.
yeah,
We were doing
so many.
SaaS
Yeah,
and no code apps. We were doing
yeah.
what else were we
Also like
trying?
Airbnb.
Airbnb, yeah.
Yeah, so many
I can't remember
topics.
what else. There was another one that was like a big the trading board as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, trading
Like
bots.
a
Yeah,
trading board,
yeah,
yeah.
with algorithms. Yeah,
Yeah. And he kept
yeah,
bringing me these ideas and I was like,
yeah,
yeah, I appreciate you thinking
yeah,
hard, bro. But none of it really stuck. I was like, it doesn't really click and it doesn't feel like it clicked with you either.
yeah,
I was like, for me, it's not about my interest, but if I can see a
yeah,
client saying like, oh, I want to do this, and they're
yeah.
excited about it and it makes sense to them, happy to go for it.
We're so generic ideas.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was generic, but it was also the way you reacted about
yeah,
it. Like it
yeah,
seemed like you were just kind of throwing these
yeah,
ideas out there. So I was like, we need to dig into it a bit more. So again, at this stage, I didn't even know much about, Alvaro. Like I was learning more, we were talking
yeah,
more and stuff. But based on literally what, 2 or 3 conversations that we'd had at this point, I went in and I planned out, okay, bro, like these are the things that sound unique to me. And we went into it. So language, obviously
yeah,
Spanish,
yeah.
he's from Spain. Location, so he moved from Spain
To
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 Dubai. What, like a year and a half, 2 years
Yeah,
ago?
year and a half, 2 years. Yeah,
Yeah. And then personal experience, we have real estate as well. You obviously have much more personal experience than that, but
yeah,
we've obviously written that one down due to the niche that we've actually went
yeah,
with. And in the middle here is the unfair advantage. So this is where I wanted him to sit. So we went with a market, which is wealth, the niche, which is then real estate, and the sub niche is Spanish speaking realtors in Dubai,
yeah,
which sounded good, and obviously Alvaro basically moved to Dubai to study English, right?
yeah.
And then went into real estate, become an
Yeah.
agent for a
Yeah, I
little
moved
bit.
into real estate, yeah, and I learned a lot there. And yeah,
Yeah,
this is my leverage, right? Yeah.
exactly. So we've done that as the niche. Spanish speaking realtors in Dubai. And we got to find coaches that do that sort of thing. So then obviously we have to go through these steps and obviously you can kind of tick these off as we go, bro. Like, are they reachable? You've already had a look for some, right? So
Yeah,
I guess they are reachable. Would these guys spend over 3K on solutions?
of course, because the Dubai market is a very big market and the people are ready to spend a lot of
Exactly.
money there.
Yeah.
Then,
Do they have an urgent, expensive problem? Now, I think this one's a
uh,
bit more comprehensive
yeah,
to this
they
audience.
can have because, look, if they're starting the real estate business,
Mm,
the income is very
mm,
unstable. Then they're looking for like new incomes
right.
there.
Yeah.
Then that's why I think this will be a good problem to solve.
Yeah,
Of course,
of
it's
course.
urgent because they want fast money to live in Dubai.
Mm,
Because if they're living in Dubai without income, it's so hard.
hmm
Yeah.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Is there something missing, a gap that you can then fill to add to, which I guess you kind of explained a little bit there by accident, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The gap that we are solving is the monthly stable income to
hmm
them.
Right.
Because if you sell a property, of course, you can sell one property in 2 months and you can get a high commission. But in the second month, if you don't sell anything, maybe it can be an issue for you.
Yeah. And it's all commission based, right?
Yeah, yeah. Everything is commission based.
Perfect. And then lastly, we have leverage, which I'll take off straight away. Do you have an unfair advantage? I think
Yeah,
that's pretty obvious. We've been through that.
yeah,
Perfect. So obviously I went through this already. So we have the ICP, Spanish speaking realtors in Dubai. Audience followers range, I haven't really filled in because I think that's going to be pretty broad right now, but we can try and get more specific with it.
It depends maybe from 1K to 45K.
Right.
Can be like
Yeah,
that. Not a very huge influencers, because it's a small niche.
for sure. Yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Current monetization, I've put it's 100% commission based real estate sales, property
Yeah,
sales, selling villas, whatever it is. and some may have. I found some people that have like potential, some sort of low ticket product or like
Yeah.
an ebook or something, but it's
Yeah.
usually just something daft.
Yeah, it's low ticket to try to get
Yeah.
some cash, but
Have you found anything else?
I found one that he's teaching how to actually
Coaching?
coaching, but the landing was so bad. Also, I think he doesn't have a real
Okay,
method to sell.
got
He
it.
only offer and that's it.
Yeah.
Without the structure, without backend, without nothing.
Okay, I got you. Makes sense. That feels cool because that's kind of similar to what we're offering anyway. So mainly
Yeah,
it's going to be these, but there is guys already doing coaching,
yeah,
which is even better anyway. So yeah. Notes, you may be able to add to this. So the one thing I've added here, these individuals are high authority, creators, coaches, usually with, good level or high views sometimes, but they have highly unpredictable income, like you said,
yeah,
and they only get really paid when they work hard.
yeah,
They have to doing this,
yeah.
finding more properties. If they want to go on holiday, they get zero commission.
Zero.
It's,
And they have to be in Dubai.
right.
They cannot sell a property. For example, if they want to sell in Dubai, they cannot stay in Spain. For example, they have to stay here to show the property here, do everything here. For example, if they start the coaching model,
Yeah.
they can, for example, travel and they can, if they have internet and a laptop, they can work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes total sense, and it ties
Yeah.
into obviously what this says as well. Because I've written they are overwhelmed by dead lead traffic they cannot monetize.
Yeah.
And the reason behind it, we discussed this slightly the other day, but the reason behind this is because obviously not everybody's dead leads, but I feel like these guys have like one or the other. They've
Yeah.
got guys willing to pay $2 million for a property or even more or whatever, or randomers who can't afford anything,
Yeah.
who are just interested in the lifestyle or whatever.
Yeah.
And anything below these guys at the top who can buy the property or invest in property, they have nothing for them.
Yeah.
It's just, they're just followers, whatever, and it's a waste. So they're getting spammed with DMs. How do I do this? How do I do that? And they can't answer them because they can't monetize it, and it's just a waste of time. So that's where, you come in, because this system is going to turn all of these kind of dead leads, if you like, wasted traffic
Yeah.
into extra
into
cash.
income. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
which is, like you said, also cash that they could be making from anywhere 24/7 rather than just commission based.
Yeah.
So one of the gap analysis kind of goes into what we just said as well, feast or famine. So they're, deleting loads of DMs, for example, because these guys aren't villa buyers or apartment buyers. They're just random dead leads that can't afford these things. Their income is tied to physical labor. They might have like months of closing cycles, like between the actual sale happening.
Yeah, because to sell a property is not in 1 week. Okay, they sell. No, they have to spend that to make the relationship maybe 1 month, 2 months. They have to be involved with the buyer. Then it's hard for them, and
Yeah, exactly. And in a desired situation,
it's not fast.
It's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Automated, let's say, obviously I've put a number on it, we can change.
Yeah.
But automated, let's say 50K per month cash flow baseline from an info offer that funds their lifestyle and whatever they want to do, while they can just focus on chasing kind of the big, more premium commissions.
Yeah.
They no longer have to do every single property. And I feel like that's going to be the goal for everybody. Like these guys, let's say they have 100K on Instagram, they're not going to be outselling every single apartment. They're going to be doing the premium stuff. But that might be rare that these crazy ones come up, whenever. Not always, of course, but no one's going to say no to having more of a predictable, stable thing.
Of course.
And also the freedom of it, like you said.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a brief breakdown of like the target, the ICP altogether. And then this is when your offer comes in. So obviously I've planned some stuff out, but with a very vague idea. So you can probably add to this. But the same way, their current situation to the desired situation, obviously the vehicle to get them there is going to be your offer, but more importantly, it's going to be your unique mechanism, which is the method, if you like. We don't want to seem like, oh, I just build info offers, I scale info offers, I scale coaching offers, that's what everybody does right now. It's what their Instagram bios say, whatever. The issue with that, like, oh yeah, it's saturated, it's commodity. Like, yeah, whatever, I'm not even trying to say that. The biggest issue for me is that, like, if you sell an offer that everybody else sells, that's fine. But if I'm a buyer or a partner and I see it, automatically what I do is I see your offer and I maybe even get sold on the offer, but my brain automatically then looks at the biggest guy who has the same offer, the best guy who has the same offer, because why wouldn't it work with them?
Yeah,
He's got more proof, he's bigger, whatever.
Yeah.
So the way we get out of that is by having our own unique offer, unique mechanism, and obviously a unique target ICP as well, which is what we've done. Especially when you stack all of the above, you get the best results. So again, you have not seen this yet. This is something I've just, mapped out completely, so you can add to this, change it completely after today.
Yeah.
But it should be a good starting point. So digital listing ecosystem is what I've tried to call it. I've tried multiple names, but this is the one that kind of made the most sense. I'm not saying it's perfect. We can definitely add to it, change it. So the one-liner is, I help Spanish realtors turn dead leads into 50K per month with the digital listing ecosystem.
Yeah.
So some of the notes, the digital listing, the product, this is just your offer.
Yeah.
It's basically saying that we're turning their physical listings, their properties, and now this is their digital listing.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, know.
It's a good name, it's.
Yes. We're trying to kind of compare it and it still relates to it. So it's not like, you can have some crazy, premium client, ecosystem, system, whatever. It's generic, but not only that, like, it doesn't really work with this kind of older premium audience who are in a certain space. Like, it's very different.
So because every real estate agent will know what is a listing, for example.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Then,
and that ties into the description as well. Some of these are very generic, and I didn't even add to this last one here, but as you can see, we package the real estate and setting up, for example, if they want to move to Dubai, like we spoke about this, and I think it's a huge part of the offer. I don't think it needs to be something that's like, okay, we'll only work with these people, but it's going to be our like target ICP. Not your ICP, but when you have a client, it's going to also be not people who just want to start real estate, but also people who want to move abroad to start real estate. I think that's a huge thing. That's obviously how you ended up doing it as well. So I think that's a big one. So we package the real estate and setting up a broad knowledge into a high ticket asset, whether that's, 5, 10K plus, whatever, treating it then like a digital property listing. But obviously there's no commission. It's 100% commission for this one. Sure. So the 24/7 open house, this is just the funnel. So we're going to have an automated, fully systemized with a team behind it, VSL funnel that acts as a gatekeeper. We're going to be filtering all these kind of wasted time DMs and everything. Guys who can't afford it. We're qualifying budgets. We're selling the vision. We're explaining our model, and we're getting people through. We have the escrow team, so they're just the sales. So this is just the closing team, ideally, Spanish team of closers and everything. They're going to be handling the sales calls, the contracts, and everything like that. And then the realtor does literally nothing at the end of this through the whole funnel system. But all they do is receive their profit share, their revenue share, the cash at the end. And even when it comes to fulfillment, which is kind of why I ran here the group coaching system, I do want to put more of an in-depth plan together for the actual fulfillment, because these guys don't have time to wait. So the whole point they're getting into this is to save time. So we're going to do more of a group fulfillment style. So they're not on one-on-one calls every day. They're not wasting time. It's like, okay, you're busy.
It's better for them, group calls. 1 call, 2 calls a week, maybe. Let's spend a couple hours a week maximum. That's all you need to do. Once everything's in place, that's all you need. And it's like, okay, they maybe would have spent 1 hour traveling to a property to sell. It's like, okay, we can just replace that. But we don't want them to do anything that's going to take crazy amounts of time. And obviously, it's infrastructure, it's not coaching. So, like most of the competitors who are going to be in this kind of space, there's not going to be direct in this space. It's very unique. But anything even similar, it's going to be kind of your coaches coaching, coaches type thing. So, the differentiation between that is it's very, done for you in comparison to their coaching styles that are going to be generic, basic, and just, they're teaching things that are going to be applicable to anyone. Whereas you're going to be installing things that are specific to this market, and doing it for them. This makes the difference.
Exactly. So how does the unique mechanism look to you? Is there anything you would add to this or change, or even just any questions you have?
I believe it's fine, because the only thing that the real estate agents don't have is the time, too much time.
Right.
Then that's why we can systemize. We can put everything in the same group calls.
Yeah. Exactly. Build the systems, build the fulfillment structure, and then put group calls on, and it's good to go. So you, again, maybe are able to add to this. I used AI to come up with some objections and stuff. I'm not in the niche. So I tried to create some objections and then kill them. So you always wanted to do this and have kind of a solution matrix. You want to have a plan for like, okay, when this issue comes up, this objection comes up, here's our reason that's not a problem.
The first one is the most common.
Right.
I don't have time.
I don't have time.
Most common,
So here we go. Automated infrastructure. We don't ask them to teach or do this or do that, We install the digital listing and an automated funnel that runs without them. And then obviously it doesn't include all the fulfillment side of it, but we already spoke about that. But that is important because it means that even when they are spending time with people, it's not all these leads and DMs and all these random guys. They are only spending time, even though it's still not a lot of time, but they're only spending any time with people who have already been through and purchased. Because they do nothing until the person's already paid.
Because we have the VSL, we have the sales team, that's it.
Exactly.
Only to them will arrive the clients, right?
They have an extra person in the call, in the group call. That's it. An extra person turns up, cool. Loss aversion, they aren't math anymore. These are just uncollected checks. So they're currently burning 30, 50,
Yeah.
100K per month, whatever it is, in just dead equity by deleting or ignoring all these DMs from people
Yeah,
wanting
because
to
they're
do what
not
they do.
investors. Yeah.
Yes, they're not investors. And it makes sense why they'd ignore them, because they're not investors. There's nothing they can bring to the table for
Yeah.
that until now. I'm a realtor, not an influencer or guru.
Yeah.
The goal here is to just reframe that sort of thing, because we're not just trying to be some guru selling some random coaching thing. This is an issue that you had
Yeah.
yourself. You going into real estate. These people in the same position as you. It's not some random BS that we've made up.
Yeah.
People want this, and we aren't telling them to go online and be a full-time guru. They can stick to what they're doing. That's the reason that you're partnering with them and doing it with them, so they can still do the job. The last thing we want to do is work with people who have stopped doing what they're doing and now they're selling other people on doing it.
Yeah.
So you want them to keep doing what they're doing, just at a more premium level, so they can spend less time.
Yeah.
They're going to make more money because you're helping them build their brand up more. And then on the back of that, they're doing coaching too.
Yeah.
But it's very different to being a guru, just laughing.
It's like
whatever.
extra income for them.
Mhm.
It's
Yes, it's extra income. We just want to make sure they don't feel like they're being sell. I'm
Yeah.
a guru, I'm a coach. Like, no. As long as their main focus is about just giving value, and we want to help them give so much out for free that if somebody wanted to become a successful, real estate coach who's Spanish or whatever, they could do that from the free content.
Yeah.
People are only paying because they want to work with them directly.
Yeah.
We're not trying to, overly sell. I don't want to do sales calls, anything like that.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious one. The escrow team, my Spanish closing team, sales team, sellers, whatever. They're going to be handling 100% of the leads, calls, contracts, everything. And then you just receive the wire at the end.
Everything will be automated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then obviously the offer, which is what we spoke about, what you were asking me about earlier on. This is the final offer I've got written down here. So the quantifiable end result was very difficult to do. I think it's such a huge gap.
Yeah.
Because some people might be at the much lower end of this, but some could be way past this. They could be doing 100K a month, 200K a month with coaching, even more.
Yeah. It depends. It depends.
Exactly. Of course, it depends. It's always going to depend. But we need to look at your ICP. And once we find more leads and we can start kind of working out, okay, where are they all at? What could they make? You want to kind of find the average and think, okay, most common, my ideal client that I'm going to land, they're going to be able to make this much.
Yeah.
And then we can do this more exact and accurate.
30 to 50K a month, yeah.
30 to 50K extra per month on top of their commissions, whatever. That seems good to me. And it seems like it would, work pretty well.
Will seem so good to them also.
Exactly.
I believe, yeah.
That's the other thing. We can't go too low here because the guys that you're going to be working with are already, they're pretty successful in real estate. These aren't random people.
It depends. It depends.
Of
But
course.
here in Dubai, there are a lot of competitors, a lot of things. Then maybe one good one can make maybe $30K per month.
Right. Yeah. And we don't want to be working with the lower end.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing because why are we coaching at that point, right? And they will try. People do try coach at that level, but we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and work with the guys doing at least 30.
Yeah, but the thing here, the commission is not, maybe one real estate agent can do 100,000, 200,000 per month. But the problem is the next month can do nothing.
Yes. Yeah. And that happens quite often.
I believe so, of course.
Right.
Of course, because yes, you can spend to sell a property 1 month, but you have to make the relationship with the buyer, as I told you before, Then it depends. It's very unstable.
Yes. Yeah, of course. No, it makes sense. So time frame, ideally, we want to get it down to a T so you can plan this out. You have it automated and systemized, which obviously I'll be helping you with once we get through this kind of stage of finding the niche, finding a client, signing a client. So time frame, what I've written down is like having the systems installed within the first 14 days and then expecting that first bit of cash within the first month.
Yeah.
Just to do the initial launch, get cash, prove it to them, prove the systems work, prove the offer works. Then you can iterate and go again and make more. Without, these are just the things they hit, which is going to be very important when it comes to creating an offer, because okay, we're going to make you X amount in X amount of time without sales calls, without creating crazy content courses, and without distracting you from selling, some luxury apartment, villa, whatever.
Only 2-3 calls per week or per month, or per week. It's fine.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, even 2 or 3 might be too much. Like they can do 1 call a week. Eventually you bring coaches in. I mean, if it's a big enough client making enough money, you could have coaches in there from day one. Yeah. Helping teach, helping coach, whatever, having CSMs.
Yeah.
So this stuff's not exactly something to worry about. It's very scalable.
Yeah.
But you can't exactly say we're going to assign this many coaches, this many CSMs. It depends on how much you're making, how big they're at, whatever. So, but there's always ways around it, around the fulfillment. Guarantee risk removal. So obviously, as of right now, we can change this, but I've just kind of done the partnership model. So we've done zero setup fee. I build the system at my cost. Obviously, it's not really much cost. It's more time investment, but
Yeah.
whatever. And then I take 30% of the revenue. Again, we can go up or down with that. And if you don't,
Yeah.
you don't get paid, I don't get paid, I don't eat, whatever. That's how I've written it. But
Yeah.
that's not something I would recommend you do long term at all. This is just
Only for the start to get 1, 2 case studies, right?
Exactly. I mean, one ideally. I wouldn't even
Yeah.
do this for more than one.
Yeah.
Even then, it's technically not necessary to have a zero setup fee, to be honest. But it's like if you want a client and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that client,
Yeah.
if you follow this, you know, it's going to give you your best chance.
Yeah.
The only negative sometimes to having like no setup fee and all this stuff, it can kind of take away from your authority or leverage a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it seems like, you
Yeah.
know, so this
Like you're
works.
hungry, right? No?
Yeah, you have to, you know, you're desperate, you want a
Yeah.
client, you're making it, yeah. So you always want to kind of frame it correctly, you know, and have authority when you say it. Like it's $0 setup fee because of this, this, and this, you know, because you can make so much money with them long term
Yeah.
and you want to work with them and whatever. What a lot of guys will tell you to do is come in and be like, you're going to be my first client. I'm so hungry. I'm going to do so well
No,
for
it's
you.
not.
I wouldn't recommend it,
yeah.
especially these days at this stage. You're better off, you know, setting the frame, being an authority, giving them a reason why the setup fee is this amount, and then obviously increasing the setup fee afterwards to much bigger amounts, honestly, because the niche, if they're making X amount.
Yeah, it's luxury niche.
Yes, it's a luxury niche. And it's a very different type of thing. You know, people are willing to pay premium prices because it's tied to, especially with what we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's tied to other big things. Like, so for example, for yourself, when you started it, it's like, oh, I'm moving to Dubai from my, you know, where I grew up or whatever. Like, that's a big move in its own. It's an expensive move for people. So it's like, okay, now adding like a $500 product. It's like, no, but like 5K product, yeah. 10K product, maybe for the right people. 15K, okay, for a small amount of them, they'll be happy to do it. You know, people's family, oh, I want to move to Dubai. Okay, well, we'll pay and get you set up there. How do we guarantee you do it properly?
And I will recover and yeah.
Because most people get thrown in, let's say to Dubai or whatever, in the deep end, commission only, they're scared to move because they don't know if they'll do well.
Yeah.
And then they have to move back home or whatever, or they don't even move because they're too scared. But they you know, they set up the right structure, the right foundation with an offer like this. You know, what is that worth? You can't really put like a number on it. So that's the point. And then obviously it makes the coach a lot of money and therefore makes you money too.
Then I have a question.
Go for it.
If I do the $0 setup fee plus the 30% of the revenue, who will pay the software? For example, the loom, the everything.
Yeah, for sure. We've done it multiple ways, to be fair. We'll usually have them pay for the softwares, but it can work the other way too. You know, it depends on kind of who owns the infrastructure, if you like, and how the contract's set up. So you can have it where like, okay, the deal goes sideways, things split up. I own the funnel, the systems, whatever. Or they can own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of depends.
If they can own it, they have to pay that. If I own it, I pay that.
Exactly. And you can also have them, you know, cover the sales team. They'll be paying them, even though you're managing them and stuff and hiring them, of course. But the invoice will come to the client at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes hand in hand with that. But again, people do this, and we've done it where you'll kind of own everything.
Yeah.
And that may make sense, especially when you've got a $0 setup fee.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get left in the dark. You've earned no money from it. You've got everything set up, and then things go left. They leave. They take everything.
Yeah.
So it may be worth putting a bit of money up front at the start, covering the software costs.
And everything's mine.
Everything's yours.
Yeah.
But it's just going to depend.
Yeah, and I have another question. If I take the 30% of the revenue, for example, this 30% is included my sales team or not?
No.
30% for me?
Yes.
For example, another 30% for the sales team, or 20% or 10%, and the rest for the creator.
Yes, exactly.
But should I tell him before or not?
Yeah. You always want to be transparent in business. I mean, like for the sales team, it's going to be like at the maximum, like 10% closer, 5% setter, at least at the start. You know, later on, if like sales managers and stuff come in, you know, as it gets more difficult, things will start coming out of your side of it too, and you can pay people. But that's when, as we scale, like we'll hire, you know, a sales manager or something internally for the agency, and they can work with multiple clients, multiple offers. You can't have the client paying for that because, you know, they're working for you for multiple different clients. So at that point, that would come from your share. So realistically, the only part they're going to be paying directly is like their team.
Yeah.
You know, that's set to the closer.
Yeah.
But again, if there's a full-time sales manager on that client, that offer, then you can decide, okay, does that come from, you know, either way. But yeah, you're looking at about 15% on top of that.
Yeah. Then I have to tell him my creator for sure. Yeah.
Yes. That's if you need a full sales team from day one. Though. I always tell people to get experience first.
30% for me, 15% for sales, and the rest for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah. You have to be careful because some people will say like that, which is fine. But it's not a case where every single deal is going to need a setter and a closer.
Yeah.
So if you stay quite blanket of like, oh, all the revenue is 30% and 15%, you know, to the sales, it's not exactly true. Because if you do any like mid-ticket, you do a webinar, you do any sort of checkout, somebody just, you know, closing the DMs, gets on a call with a client, whatever. Okay, we didn't need the sales team. We don't pay them.
Yeah.
But he thinks or she thinks that it's automatic, you know, 45%.
Yeah.
But it's not true. It just depends. They're just there in case we need them.
Yeah.
Which, again, at the start, if possible, depending on who you're working with, I always recommend jumping at the deep end. Trying it yourself.
Yeah.
Do a bit of sales yourself because you want to, you know, learn something and try it before you delegate. It's always the best thing to do. It's not always possible, but where it is, you want to do it. And it means you can make more money as well.
Yeah.
So why not? But yeah, that's kind of the big picture. And obviously we can go more in depth into the offer later. This is just kind of the initial blueprint as we make a start here. And then lastly, the promise statement, you know, I install a deal listing ecosystem into your existing personal brand that automatically filters, qualifies, and monetizes the 99% of dead leads that you're currently ignoring, turning waste traffic into a 50K per month asset.
Yeah,
that's kind of the offer. Yeah.
It's basic, yeah.
So deal strategy and structure. Again, we can definitely add to this because I've not really looked into the competition too much doing this. And that's something you can 100% do. And I'll kind of give you the blueprint for that moving forward after today. But just to give you an initial kind of idea, so how much can you make save them? So broad when we don't have a really clear, you know, example of the ICP and how big they are, how much they can make. So I went conservative. Let's say we do a launch, we get them 10 deals a month at 5K, that's 50K rev.
Yeah.
Obviously cash collected, we're going to be, you know, working a lot less than, well, not a lot less, but, you know, hopefully not too much less than that. Aggressive, you know, we could probably do 30 deals a month at 5K, 150K revenue. But it just depends. Because we could do way less than this, we could do way more than this. Depends who we're working with.
It depends, yeah.
And it also depends on capacity.
Yeah.
If they don't have a huge following, but also if you don't have enough sales guys, enough time in the calendar, it's not possible.
Yeah.
You know, you can't close 30 deals if there's not 30 slots in the calendar. Yeah. So it just depends. What are your ICP, you know, these Spanish realtors who, you know, live in Dubai or whatever, what are their other options to kind of achieve the same result that you can help them bring? I mean, the first point I'll make when I was writing this, like, I don't think they can really, because this isn't, you know, operating, of course, yes. Like, as a whole, we want to sell ourselves as, you know, this cool thing that they can do themselves. But I think especially in a niche like this, like if you talk to some sort of, I don't know, e-com, SaaS, AI, whatever, chances are they can probably work their way around the systems or whatever. They don't want to, and it's going to take a lot of time and whatever else. Yeah. And it might not be perfect, but they can still do something, you know, to sell their own offer. Yeah. But with a niche like this, it's going to be quite foreign to them. Yeah. To get into the depth of the tech side of it, the sales side of it. Like, it's very different to what they're used to. So I think it's kind of, you know, so wild for them to even try. However, you know, fair play to them if they do. But I've written, like, build it themselves, spend maybe 6 months or even more, and like over $20,000 on tech, hiring teams, calls, filming, you know, setting the fulfillment up, everything. And of just learning in general as well, while neglecting their main real estate business and then still achieving a smaller result. So that's not even just about, okay, they're investing time and money and getting a smaller result, but they're also then having to neglect their main business. Yeah. So they're spending, but they're also losing on that end. So,
and most of them, they will not do it because they are very busy to do that.
Yeah,
you know?
And it makes sense not to do it. I'm not gonna
maybe
lie.
The 1% will do that.
Yes.
The rest, no.
Exactly. And in other niches, again, like they're still gonna get a smaller result, and it's still gonna take a lot of time and things. But at least they have a basic understanding of certain parts of it. Yeah. And of course, you know, some of these real estate people will 100%. But I'm just saying it's a very different model than info coaching, whatever else. And then I've also written down, you know, working with a broad coach who coaches coaches, to then try and do it themselves with help and assistance from a coach and maybe some done for you elements, which is sick. But again, super broad advice. They're going to be on a call with 50 people trying to learn, asking one question. It's just not going to work. Yeah. The ROI, so the return on investment from working with you and, you know, your agency, whatever you call it, versus the other options. So they could go get, you know, a generic marketing agency, I'm sure, or something like that, paying high monthly retainers or whatever. Yeah. They're going to have zero skin in the game. They're going to be, you know, using some random $5 per hour VA to do the work for you. Yeah. They have no actual expertise in the market, whether that's being, Spanish, real estate, moving into Dubai, like whatever. Each different part of this, and especially the whole big picture, everything together, they have no experience in.
Yeah.
And the other option as well, I put versus a coach who's going to be charging, most of these guys at $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 plus, with again, no specific coaching or, expertise around what we're trying to do. It's just broad.
Yeah.
So that's that. The ROI, so the return on investment from working with you versus other options, we've kind of answered, but working with you, it's an infinite ROI for these first guys or first guy because there's no cost.
No cost.
So it's infinite.
I will do it for them for free in the beginning.
So they've got infinite ROI and immediate time leverage. They get a product that increases their brand authority, makes them more cash flow, and boosts their current business as well.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing I think will probably be missed here. When it has a 0%, zero setup fee, you've got to imagine this won't happen, but from their perspective, this is the way to even look at it when you're selling them, pitching them. Everything fucks up. You make no money from it. Yeah. Nothing goes well, whatever. They've paid you nothing, but to set this up, to create this coaching side of the business, you're also going to be helping and doing for them things in relation to marketing, content, maybe ads in the future and things like that, which are going to grow their brand massively.
And then they can sell more properties.
Exactly.
Of course.
So whether they're selling more properties or, going into some other line of work in the future, they've now leveraged this to make the money. And you won't take a share of that. You're only taking a share of the coaching side.
Yeah.
So if the coaching side does well, even better. We all make money, great. But if it doesn't, there's no loss for that. You waste your time, you do this. They only win either way.
Yeah.
It's a very good, scenario. So we kind of went through this already, but deal structure, pretty obvious, zero setup fee, performance only. I think there'll be a lot of upsell opportunities. I've written one thing, but I think we could probably add more long-term to this.
Yeah. Of course, for example, the first deal that they close, the customer close, they can get a commission or something like that.
Yes.
And this can be a very big deal for them.
They can have their own kind of revenue share on the back end with these students. Yeah, literally. Look, transitioning students into future property buyers, investors as well. The coach could even invest in the students' properties, right?
Yeah.
Like if they're good enough, they put it in the chart, bang.
Yeah.
Finder's fees, whatever. So there's so much more to it. But like I said, we could add so much more to these as we move on and actually create an offer. Performance bonuses. So revenue share on the info funnel sales. And then the partner retains 100% of the physical real estate commissions, of course. Now, fulfillment. I didn't plan this out because I wanted to kind of sit here and do this with you. We can kind of go step by step of what the onboarding process is. So I've done, partnership call or meeting, the B2B sales call.
Yeah.
You get the contract signed, deal's good to go. Now, we're not going to plan out, months down the line, whatever. But it's like, what does the process look like? So I'm going to drag this in. And let's kind of work out together what we think this would be like. So do you have any initial ideas of how you would set this out? Like when they sign the deal, what would be the first thing you did?
Okay, we have to onboard the client, right?
Of course.
And then we onboard the client.
How do we onboard the client?
Maybe we send them an email or whatever with everything. And once that, we start working on that, right?
Yeah, literally. So when they get onboarded, we're probably going to send them, let's say, an email, like you said.
Yeah.
And what I would also do?
Give him access to the Go High level or everything, right?
Yep. Set up CRM, for sure. Honestly, in fact, I'm going to leave this one out because this is going to be afterwards. Because that's kind of a step for you to take. Whereas onboarding is kind of like, okay, when they sign the contract, these things all happen at once. You know what I mean? So you can technically set up the CRM automatically. That's what we do. But it's not necessary for your first client to be like, oh, let me set up everything, instantly. So the main features for onboarding is going to be the automated email. I would probably say some sort of client portal, like the one that you have on Notion with our stuff. Obviously that's our client portal for my offer, for OA, for working one-on-one with people. But we also have a very similar client portal for the agency as well. So you would set up something like that. You can use ours. In fact, we gave you the blueprint. You have it. Yeah, we already gave you it. So you would set up the client portal for them and give them access to that. Send them an email. And then it would depend on where you're going to do the client communications.
Then start the scheduling the meetings, right? Or
yes, exactly. For communication, we'll usually use like Discord or Slack or something.
Yeah.
But for your first client, honestly, say for example, you and them use WhatsApp very often, which most of the guys here do.
Yeah, in Dubai, all people use WhatsApp.
Exactly. So I would probably just go in and just put WhatsApp on there. You don't want to create some crazy like over the top system.
Maybe create a WhatsApp group with him, me and him,
Mhm.
and put all together.
Yes.
Because if it's personal conversation, maybe we can lose messages.
Yes.
And for the future to scale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So WhatsApp message, client portal, automated email, and then onboarding call as well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
To plan everything, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's the plan for that. Now, moving on from here, you then want to have the rest of the setup. So once they're on board, you can then do, setting up this. In fact, let's do the planning first. Plan timeline.
Yeah.
Right?
Put everything in one document, right? Or it's not necessary?
What do you mean by putting everything into one document?
Yeah, all the roadmap for them or maybe in the Notion.
I would probably, yes, for sure. That's exactly what we do. But I think for the first client, when you first get on board, you can probably just jump on the onboarding call with them and do the same way we're doing right now, on a board, just planning it out. I would map that out with them, breaking it down and explaining it to them. Obviously, the better you can do, the more you can prepare, even better.
Yeah.
But my issue with saying things like that, people will then, go over prepare.
Yeah.
My main focus would be doing what I'm going to show you in a moment, which is going to be, gaining leverage and getting clients. Why would we take time away from that to create systems that we only use when we have a client?
Yeah.
Because we don't have a client right now. We're not making any money.
Yeah.
So we want to focus on that.
That's true.
So plan the timeline out. Launch timeline to our initial launch, right?
Yeah.
We want to plan the calls as well. So plan, let's just schedule calls, whether that's once per week, twice per week, or whatever. We want to be, always talking to the client and everything along these lines. And then you want to start setting up, of course. So if I just copy this here. Oh, no. Messing up. Okay. So we plan the timeline and then we set up the systems. So let's do CRM. I would use GHL to start.
Yeah.
You get GHL for free, and it's just at this stage definitely the best that you can use Close or something, but there is no need to look into anything else right now. And the rest of it's going to kind of come down to different things depending on what we're using.
Of the offer, right?
Yes, of course, but
can be the Calendly for them.
Yes.
Can be
exactly. You're right.
What else? The Discord or Whoop or whatever.
Yes.
The platform,
You're on it,
right?
bro. You're on it. Let's do Discord. Let's just write that for now. You can navigate and change this as well. But, but you're correct. Payment processor is going to be a big one.
So important.
Payment processing. What else do we have here? Anything you can think of?
Maybe email marketing.
Yes. Put kit for emails. Convert kit.
Okay.
What else do we have? You think?
ManyChat, right? Maybe.
ManyChat, yeah. I'll put it. Huge one. Yeah, very important. Just the reason I'm being a bit sometimes it won't work as well for some people because they don't do certain types of content or whatever, but you want them to, so it's fine.
What else? Plan if we want to make content, no? Plan the content.
Yeah,
the organic content.
Content's going to be happening either way, but in regards to systems, it wouldn't really count.
Systems.
You can build the content infrastructure.
Discord payment processing.
Yeah. Typeform is one I would add personally. For the application.
To qualify the leads, right?
Yes. And we'll get into kind of why. I mean, it's obvious why, but as we explained, VSL funnel, we're going to need, these things.
Landing page?
Yes, exactly. It depends on where you want to host the landing page. At the beginning, if you've got GHL, if this is your first client, a small client, I would just go create it in there,
because
honestly.
ClickFunnels is...
ClickFunnels is good. It's just, again, it's do you want to go create some AI funnel? Do you want to use ClickFunnels, whatever? Or just use GHL, you already got it set up.
Or the new no-code websites, right?
For sure.
Yeah, Cursor or whatever.
Yeah,
we can create from there.
We put it with even just Lovable a lot for funnels, but again, it's extra softwares, all this stuff for an extra whatever.
Also the domain and hosting.
Yes.
No? It's not a system, but
Yeah. No, exactly. I'm gonna add in here We need a VSL hosting platform, and again, it would depend on who you're working with. But I'm going to put Wistia. You can use like Vidalytics or VTurb as well, but I'm going to just put Wistia for
I
now.
don't know that, but yeah, it's same as.
It's just to host the VSL, the actual video, you know, for the homepage on the
Yeah.
phone. That's where we have the video hosted.
Okay,
Right?
got it.
And then when it comes to domains and stuff, yes, I won't write as like setting up an account or system, but you're exactly right when it comes to that. Okay. And then let's go down to the next layer really quick. But we won't add too much more. We'll keep this nice and simple from here on out. So setting up the systems. And then after that, I would recommend writing the copy. So email sequences. And then as you mentioned before, right? Content.
Content launches.
Yep. Content. We have story sequences.
Yes.
Funnel copy.
Funnel copy, you mean in the landing page or?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
VSL copy, yeah.
VSL.
Copy, yeah.
And then we also have, I'll just put thank you page copy as well. It's kind of included already, but just to
Also
keep
landing
things
page
simple.
copy, right?
Yeah, I mean,
the whole landing, yeah.
exactly.
The final, the
funnel,
VSL,
the
yeah.
whole funnel.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro. Writing the copy, and then that'll then transfer into the next stage. To be fair, we probably do this beforehand, but oh well. Sales team.
Yeah.
You know, this is when we're going to start hiring. Obviously, we're going to help you throughout this process, and we can help place you with people. But hiring, we also have obviously managing and training the sales team. I would also put on here as well. I would probably put mock calls as well.
Mock call.
With the sales team. And again, more comes into this, but I'm just trying to keep it a bit simplified.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have long. Long.
And just put everything in the same place, right?
Yes. Launch. And we'll speed through this now. So I'll just put launch, deliver. And then obviously after that, you can scale. And not only can you scale with the launch, the offer, you can turn it evergreen, but you can also scale long term by working with this client, getting involved more in depth, as well as scaling in regards of bringing on more clients. You know, that's kind of where you make the decision of how you want to proceed with the business.
Yeah.
But you're already making good cash, it's fine. So moving on, there's nothing we need to go through here in regards to like this coaching session, this video here. You know, this is the whole messaging doc that I put together, which we can definitely work on. There'll be a lot, you know, more to add and change to this as we go through this process, and I learn more about the model and, you know, who we're working with, and you learn more, and we just talk more about, you know, your story, the situation, and where we can come from and what angles we can hit, the pain points and things. But as you can see, we got the common enemy, core contrasts, market context, the unique mechanism, the unique marketing angles, the signature story, proof of concept, the justification for actually doing the offer, and then, you know, different hooks as well, and the positioning statement. So yeah, but not a big deal right now.
Yeah.
Now moving into content. This is obviously for your content. You know, as you move in, I definitely recommend starting with that, creating huge leverage and authority, and it's something most guys in the space won't do. They don't do it and they won't do it. So not only doing it is going to give you a huge advantage, doing it properly is going to be great.
Yeah.
So we can definitely add to this. For your positioning, what I've written down, you want to be analytical, because it's very different to kind of the positioning for most creators out there, because they're trying to sell a coaching offer. For you and your content, you don't want to come across like, you know, I live a cool lifestyle and this, like, that's great. You can show that, but you don't want to go too far with it.
Yeah.
Because if you go too far,
I will attract the wrong people, right?
You'll attract the wrong people, but also you got to think, let's say I'm a real estate coach doing 30K a month, and you want to work with me, and I look at your profile, and it's just lifestyle.
Yeah.
When do you do work?
Yeah.
Like, I'm paying you for nothing. You're scamming me. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So you want to be analytical, operator, you know, all these things, but you still want to be high status, busy, you know, you're in Dubai. You want to be rich, not famous. As in, like, you want to show that's your goal.
Yeah.
Like, you're not trying to compete with them and try to be the famous one doing tons of content.
Yeah.
Your content is focused on getting low views, but it's super value driven. You're creating a very niche audience who can work with you.
Yeah.
You want to be known and looked at as a trusted guy. Obviously, you're Spanish. You want that to be obvious in your content as well. And then the kind of the big positioning statement around that, we don't create content to look famous. We document competence
with trust.
to build the trust up,
Yeah.
make more money, build partnerships, everything like that. One recommendation I would, say to you, which is something we've talked about in the group a little bit, is unintentional versus intentional content. For you, I would do kind of a 70-30 split, which we're offering here. And all that means is instead of me expecting you to, where's my phone? Instead of expecting you to pick up the camera, all day, every day, talking to the camera, doing videos, the whole point from the positioning we talked about, analytical, operator, busy, working hard. If those things are true, why would you have time to record content?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You're a busy guy, you're working hard. So instead of just doing content, we do intentional 30% of the time. And this is, the content you'll see online.
Yeah.
Picking up the camera, talking head, whatever it might be. But 70% of the time, most of the time, I want you to do unintentional.
Yeah.
And that's going to be videos like this.
Yeah.
I'm coaching you, but it's technically, we could turn this into a video, it could be content.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the best way to do that, I want you to leave the camera on all the time. When you're working, when you're doing calls, whatever, have the camera on. Because instead of them planning and be like, oh, how can I turn this into content, whatever, you do the opposite. You just leave the camera running, and then later on, you can look at that and plan out how you can turn it into stuff. You can have an editor do it long term. People, you'll see a lot more people do it now. I know it's a huge thing already. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking in more like business-related niches. People will just live stream. But they're not live streaming to get viewers. They won't even use like live streaming platforms sometimes. They'll just do some
live
random
stream to
stuff.
show that they're working, right?
Yes, because then they can clip it up. And this live stream, they weren't even trying to do content. They just left it running while they're working. That then gets turned into multiple pieces of long and short form content. So that's going to be the main thing. You want to signal I'm too busy to be some YouTuber or some coach. I'm the operator, but I'm still documenting the process to build the trust and get the views. So it's recording meetings, building diagrams, analyzing deals, everything. And meetings as well, by the way, could be in person or online. I want you to show everything. Now, the waterfall engine, pretty basic, but when you try and focus, especially at the start with content on everything, it gets super confusing and nothing ends up perfect. You do a million things, okay, nothing's gonna be great. I would rather you hit one thing, nail on the head, you get it, kill it, and that would be YouTube. Because for B2B, YouTube kills it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, get these 6-7 figure deals, whatever, from a random 30-second reel.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. I have to build trust in YouTube with long videos.
Yes. Giving value, showing them how they can do it themselves. So even if they don't want to work with you, they could go implement your strategies and probably make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they'll come running back. Or if they don't, so be it. You help people. It's good. You can talk about it in your content. So focus on the YouTube, but that doesn't mean sack off everything else. You can quite easily then, whether it's manually through an AI system that we can, help with, or just putting a team onto it, turn each video into an Instagram carousel or post, Instagram stories, sequences, highlights as well. It can also be turned into your reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, the long form content I can put in the short forms, like real TikToks, of course. Yeah,
exactly. As well as written content as well. X, LinkedIn, newsletter. LinkedIn is one I haven't really mentioned, and I don't play with it a lot at all, honestly, with like any of our clients. But like now thinking about it, it probably is going to be quite important for you on this niche. To maybe look into in the future. But again, it still can be done from the YouTube, so I'm not too worried. But I'm more talking in regards of actually setting it up, getting started, making your account, setting it up. But like, you can use the same fundamentals from the Instagram for your LinkedIn and X as well. So your content funnel, obviously we're still doing the funnel of the intentional versus unintentional, but this is more what type. So 45% of your content I want to be top of funnel because your audience obviously going to be super niche, which is good. That's the goal. But if we do bottom of funnel content to a niche audience, you're going to get no views at all, which again is fine. But we want to kind of attract our...
I have to target like more of my
go a little bit broader to bring in, especially on like short form platforms like YouTube, we can be a bit more specific. But this is just the overall strategy for everything here.
Yeah.
So 45% top, 40%, so very similar. It could be pretty much the same for middle of funnel. These are going to be your nurturing, your value-driven videos, things like that. And then 15% for your bottom of funnel, which is going to be kind of case study videos, anything where you're kind of pitching.
Yeah.
For
the micro niche needs.
Yes.
Micro needs,
So top of funnel, your goal here, stop the scroll, establish some sort of status and attract the dream followers.
Yeah.
I speak of this quite a bit, and I think it was Josh that put this out back, I remember, but you have ICP. Tons of guys have started talking about this, so I'm sure you may have seen this, or people watching this may have seen it, but ICP, And then outside of that, the circle around it, I can't draw circles on you. This is your dream follower.
Yeah.
So your ICP is inside the dream follower. So for example, one example of your dream follower could be people moving to Dubai.
Yeah.
Does everybody moving to Dubai want to do real estate and buy your offer, work with you, whatever? No, they don't.
No.
But the ICP is within that. Not your ICP, but like the ICP for the offer. I'm just giving you an example. For you, same thing. You could be talking to real estate coaches. That's your dream follower. Yeah, but they aren't Spanish speaking real estate coaches who move from some sort of Latin country or Spain or whatever. So that isn't your ICP. But if you make dream follower content a bit more broad, talking about business or talking about real estate coaching or just real estate in general, you're going to attract all the real estate coaches, and then obviously your ICP is going to drip in as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's better to attract everyone, than go in deep of that.
You're not doing everyone because you're still niching down. You're just not going as niche. So you can still get
target
decent.
everyone, but for my niche, of course.
Yes. I've written a few random ones here, but this is your high status lifestyle stuff, unintentional work clips that we spoke about.
Yeah.
Raw talking head stuff. Where you pick up the camera and just talk about
blah, blah, blah.
things.
Yeah.
Yes. It could be you walk into a meeting in Dubai, just talking about business, talking about helping the client make X amount of case study, talking about making the move to Dubai. Again, it's broad. It doesn't apply, but it makes sense. Yeah. You'll be talking about growing in Spain because your audience.
Yeah. It's from Spain or Latam. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Spanish speakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can relate. Middle of funnel is going to be a little bit different now. We're looking to shift beliefs and actually explain your mechanism, which is just the method that you use to get the results. So this is going to be, again, talking head, but much more, sit down, value driven. You could be doing like a Miro style video, live coaching like this. You could be doing with, a Spanish speaking realtor, whatever. Alvaro breaking down the math of dead leads on a whiteboard. Stop ignoring these DMs or deleting these DMs. Let's turn these into 5K sales, whatever. And then bottom of funnel, book calls or meetings and sign new clients. So it's shout content, giving direct offers and then case studies as well.
Yeah.
So, very direct. Instagram stories is a perfect example for this. I have capacity for one more partner this month. Or like a case study, like how X went from X amount to X amount without spending any extra time by installing our system. This is bottom of funnel.
Yeah.
So, pretty good. Now, I don't even need to move through these, honestly, for these just like random ones I've added in, because I wanted to kind of build upon this with you after.
Yeah.
But these are just basically belief shifting. So, it's very similar or pretty much the same to the objection matrix we did before. So it's like, let's look at their current beliefs. I don't trust marketers. These leads are trash. I make enough money already.
Yeah.
We want to install a new belief in them. So it's like, the system is automated. You install it.
Yeah.
You aren't teaching. You're selling a digital listing rather than, coaching, being a guru. And then you basically can craft content angles around each of these.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into this too in depth because I don't plan these out.
Yeah.
But we look at the objections and how we handle them, and then we can create content angles around each one.
Exactly for my targets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it gives you a very good way to easily make content as well. So, moving on now to the actual Instagram that we've done. Let me pull up, in fact, your current Instagram as well.
Yeah.
I can put this bit on. Let's have a look. Okay.
Yeah, this is my current Instagram,
Yeah. So here's your current Instagram profile. Obviously, very similar. We based off this, of course, but you've got tons of different countries here.
Yeah.
It's you from a while back, and then in Dubai, whatever else, lifestyle stuff. Very basic bio, picture of you here. Honestly, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
But let me go through. Just wanted to kind of show you and show everybody what we're comparing to.
Yeah.
So here's kind of the overall how it's looking so far. I've not changed everything exactly how I would because I didn't have examples because you don't post content now. So I don't have examples to say like, this should go here. So I've kind of just tried to write it down and map it out. So straight away, you can see I've changed the profile picture. It's a bit brighter. It's showing a bit more kind of premium.
Yeah.
You're in a cool place, but you're not looking at the camera. It's not like a forced photo, or it doesn't seem so, because you don't want it to seem as if you're like taking some selfie. Yeah. You want to be more
like random.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's got your name there. And then I've put here, we can kind of customize the layout of this.
Yeah.
But it's just to show you're in Dubai right now, so you can relate to people. So when you message them, when they see you, they can see, okay, I'm in Dubai as well.
Yeah.
But also, showing you're from Spain. So they know you're from Spain, but they also probably know you speak Spanish.
Yeah.
It's going to do both. And then we have your offer here in the bio as well. Like I said before, it's a little bit different, but pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
help Spanish
see.
realtors turn dead leads into 50K a month with a digital listing ecosystem. See how with an arrow
Yeah.
pointing down.
So they put it in Spanish, right?
What do you mean?
Because I'm targeting Spanish
I was
or
going to
in
speak to you about
English.
this. It kind of depends because when we've looked, me and you have looked together and you found people, some of them speak English in their content. So I'm not sure if you should, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can do
And my
Spanish.
content, so I do my content in English or Spanish?
It would be the same thing.
Same.
Whatever we decide, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, because maybe in English I can you see reach more people than in Spanish, but maybe not too much qualified. Because if I'm targeting for the Spanish people or the Spanish speaking that want to be realtors in Dubai, for sure they will speak Spanish, but
Yeah.
for sure they have to know English to come to Dubai. Then it's like, you know, we're in the middle.
Yes, exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's up to you. I mean, Spanish sounds good to me. You've also got to think, like, usually we start off in a niche like this,
Yeah,
and then the chances are you can stay there, of course. Yes, I'm not saying you can't, but you can expand. You know, some people will start super broad and they'll realize it doesn't work. They'll go smaller and
Yeah.
smaller, as in, like, they'll try anybody that does
Yeah.
business. Then they'll say real estate. Then they'll say real estate in Dubai. Then they'll
Yeah.
say Spanish speaking real estate. They end up here. You may stay there, or you might start here, get some, you know, clients, make money, and then you go broader. It's kind of how it
Broader,
works. Because
broader.
as you get more results,
Yeah.
you can then compete with a wider market, and you've got a proven system. So you can then say, oh, well, I can just work with anybody who, you know, does real estate, who's Spanish speaking worldwide.
Yeah.
And then you can go, oh, well, I work with, and this is the point I was going to make, right? You can then expand different ways. You can then expand to, I can work with anybody who does business or whatever, who's Spanish.
Yeah.
Or you could go the other way and go
All real estate people, maybe.
English, Spanish, exactly.
All
You see what I'm
nationalities.
saying? Like the issue there becomes, okay, if we
Yeah.
do all the content in Spanish,
But if I start in Spanish, yes, I cannot expand.
yes, but
Too much.
which is fine. But like, I'm not saying you have to.
Later we can switch. I can switch, right, to English.
You can switch, but like you won't have ever had, you know, it's kind of weird to go from, people have done
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
they'll create second channels and stuff. But for me, I would try and, you know, set it and stick to it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm telling you to go either way. I think going Spanish
Yeah.
makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to let you know that like, if we do that and then you decide to go this way in the
Yeah.
future,
Yeah.
it's like it can get a bit sticky. So it depends. And if you want to do more broad videos, sometimes, you know, being English might help, you know, whatever. But whatever we choose, we stick to it. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't dibble dabble in
We have to decide that. Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to change these to Spanish, you can follow kind of the ecosystem.
Yeah,
I don't know Spanish to write down anyway, so it's all good.
You have to learn it.
Yes. So I help Spanish realtors turn dead leads at 50K a month.
Yeah.
We have the see how. Now this would link to your YouTube.
My YouTube.
Yeah, and I'll show you that in a moment and go through it all. Ideally, again, to get people to work with you at this level of this type of client, they aren't going to watch a 30-second reel. Like, hey, bro, I'm going to work with you. Like, that's how it works. So ideally, you want to push them to some sort of long-form format where they can build more trust and be nurtured and be sold on working with you pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the goal of that. And I'll explain, by the way, the YouTube situation, like I said, in a moment.
Also the stories.
Yes. So the highlights have changed as well. If we switch back to yours right now.
I have classified by countries.
It's just
lifestyle,
countries. Yes. It's like one of them girls that's like being took around the world with different people. Yeah, you try to play that game. I hear it. So I've changed it to start here. We have results, we have life, we have value, we have clients.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, like start here and results, pretty much the only ones you need.
Yeah.
But because we're just starting out, we're not going to have results, tons of results, maybe not even any results, whatever. I didn't want to just give you, oh, bro, do all these, because then you'd be like, well, I don't have results.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because like if you don't have results right now, you kind of save this and you add it in once you get results.
Yeah.
So it's no big deal. But I don't want you have to add 4 later on. So I've added the extra ones as well, and they can still be massively beneficial. Life, you can
put everything there.
Yes,
all
put everything
lifestyle.
there, all lifestyle, yes. But again, you want to be careful not to frame it as like, oh, I'm always on holiday. I'm not working very hard. Then you also want to probably frame it in a way where you can talk about the things that would make people work with you in regards to showing the buy, but like making it obvious.
Yeah.
Showing that you're Spanish, talking in Spanish. You know what I mean? Like, you want to do the things that they're going to relate to and want to work with you because of. So that's a big one. And then value is like, I would do, you know, random standalone stories sometimes, but also I do story sequences where you can give people like different bits of value.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I might, for example, do a story sequence on outreach.
Yeah.
And I'd, you know, say like, oh, the before situation, but currently you're sending this copy and paste message, whatever, then I'd go through the sequence.
Yeah.
Every time you do that, the last slide of the story sequence, the last story, I would, send them to a YouTube video. So
This is a CTA, right?
yeah, DM me whenever, and I'll send you a full breakdown and exactly on how I do outreach. You could do it,
And I send you the video, that's
yes.
it. Yeah.
So you do all sequence and you're like, oh, DM me whatever keyword, and I'll send you my full breakdown on how to start coaching Spanish real estate, whatever, but you do way better than that. And I'll show you some examples in a moment. But if you do that and keep stacking them up, you'll have a really long highlight with different bits of value in it. Give me 1 second, bro, because this is saying it's... Now, value, like I said, we're going to have them all stacked up. And then you've got to think, the way we have it, someone goes through your start here sequence, which I'll show you in a moment.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of your landing page. That's the first thing they see. Start here. Okay. And it teaches them, tells them your story, tells them about your method and what you do. They go through, they see results, they see your life. I would maybe even move value before life because they don't really care about life till they know you.
Yeah.
Value, they start understanding a bit more, learning. Oh, that bit sounds interesting. Let me DM him to see this YouTube video.
Yeah.
They watch the video, they've been nurtured, then they maybe book a call.
Yeah.
And then clients, obviously you can show any sort of clients on there too. Now, pin posts, we have my method, my story, and lifestyle. And I'm going to get into those.
Can be reels or
exactly.
carousels?
A bit of both. We'll get into it. And then obviously these images have not changed. These are just your posts, but again, I would try and mix in a bit more working as well. And I don't mean like boring working pictures for the sake of it. Like you want to be smart with it. Like this could be the same photo, but with a phone, with a laptop. Like, I'm not telling you to go like completely left. Yeah. But it's just showing that you're still doing stuff. Like not too much.
I can go for work to a fancy place and I can take photo. That's it.
Yes.
I can take photo there.
Showing you. And everybody wants to do lifestyle stuff. It's perfect. It works great, especially with IG. But again, you're not selling an offer. You're like an agency. You're working with partners. Yeah. You don't want to seem like, oh yeah, partner with me. I do nothing. Yeah. I just party. I go on holiday. Like
this can be good for my personal Instagram, not for the.
Yeah. These are still good though because it shows status. It shows authority. You become relatable. Oh, he's went to the Burj Khalifa. I like that place too. Yeah. So let me speak to him. Whatever. Let me reply to him. But you're gonna do both. Yeah. So that's that. Now, each pin post I've written down and kind of broke down here. So number one is your method. Let me zoom. So your method, which obviously now we know the unique mechanism, the digital listing. So split screen Miro style. I'm sure you've seen this style before, where it's like, camera on the top, Miro on the bottom. Exactly. So you call out your specific ICP. So you tell them who you're talking to, for Spanish real estate coaches, whatever. Yeah. And obviously this isn't a script, by the way. This is just like the kind of frame that I would follow, like the idea behind it, and you can script it out. So you basically, in one way or another, explain and tell them that they're sitting on a gold mine right now, but they're wasting it completely. You want to agitate their current, their old beliefs, if you like, what they believe in. Mention that they're getting DMs, maybe they're deleting them, ignoring them, whatever, and edit everything else because the leads maybe can't invest in a $2 million villa, like we spoke about before. So they think these leads are dead leads. It's pointless, but they're wrong. Yeah. So these aren't dead leads, and you want to kind of explain to them and shift their belief into thinking, these are $5,000, $10,000 clients for a different offer, and they've lost $600,000 in revenue over the past year because they've not utilized these leads and they've lost them. But no longer. They can start now. We use the digital listing ecosystem to extract over $50K per month from dead leads without, and again, things they hate, wasting time, distracting them from selling properties, etc. And again, this isn't a script you can add to this. You give them the very simple step-by-step breakdown. Give them the kind of 3 steps. You don't have to go in depth into it. Just give them kind of an overview to get them interested. Yeah. And then a CTA to YouTube VSL.
This post has to be like, I can record by myself, right? Yeah. Like a story, that's it.
Yeah. But this is like a Miro board post, right? So like, you have the camera up like this. Yeah. And then you can just draw it like this Figma board. Yeah. But you can do it super simple though. Yeah, yeah. And then just talk through it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But for Instagram post, I don't know if it can be good. I can record by my phone and then the mirror in the phone, with the phone. Or what do you mean? What do you mean like record a loom?
Kind of like a loom, kind of. I can show you an example in just a moment. You'll see what I mean. But like, as long as you understand kind of the method behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. And I'll show you an example of the format I mean afterwards. But yeah, and then at the end of it, the call to action, because it's all good kind of giving them a really quick overview of step by step, but no one's going to take a step by step and make 50K. Yeah. It's very simple. So we then give them a call to action. Like if you want to learn how or whatever, if you want to implement this, comment, whatever, we send them to the YouTube video, which I'll show you in a moment what YouTube video would be. And you add a reel cover. So I don't want to mess up your IG and make it look weird. So what you do is you add a cover to it, which would be a lifestyle photo. So like it looks the same.
Yeah,
when
they
click, exactly.
Got it. And
obviously, like as you do more of this and we scale and whatever, you can add like text to it, and you'll see different guys have different ways of doing the covers. But you know, I want to give you kind of the quick step-by-step here to get started. The quicker we move, then the quicker we can iterate and get things better. Pin post number 2 is your story. So you basically, again, this isn't a script, but this is just going to be you going over it. We can do this either a carousel or a reel. I've made it in a way we can kind of do either. I was thinking a carousel, you know, just a slide, and it'd be pictures of you with text on it. But this could be done equally in a reel. I just didn't want to have reel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But whatever. I would probably recommend doing a carousel. So you position yourself as kind of the living proof of the market gap. So obviously you're going to be able to expand on this and change it based on the true story of your life. Obviously I've just written things down, but it's like you're proving to the partners, the clients for yourself, that the broke lead they currently ignore is maybe a 5K plus client waiting for your infrastructure. So then it's your story. So you're telling your true story, being honest, but you want to tie in as much as you can to the business and what you're doing, because you want to use it and leverage it to try and sign them. So it's like, oh, I was that person.
Yeah.
You know, if you hit me up.
To connect with them,
Yeah, when I was doing real estate in Dubai, obviously you stopped doing real estate.
Yeah.
You know, you want to pitch it like, well, if somebody hit me up with this when I was doing real estate, I would have stuck around and did a lot better. You know, that's how you want to pitch it. You can change that to make sure it fits the true narrative. You don't want to lie, but like you want to tell your story in a very specific way. And then lastly, pin post 3 is lifestyle. You can kind of run this however, and I've written down exactly what I told you. Showcase locality, you know, being in Dubai and all this stuff, and work ethic as well. Posting high leverage scenes, you know, whether it's like meetings in nice
maybe
places.
I can work in a boat.
Yes.
This kind of
exactly.
things, right?
Just crumbs. Take your laptop. Do a few things, whatever. Like meetings, building the systems up on your screen, whatever. Working in cool places, like you said, on a boat, in a hotel. Like, you know, rather than just leisure and holidays. Proving to clients that you're an operator, building their infrastructure on the ground, hands-on, hardworking. You're not just scanning some lifestyle out of them. Then last thing on here to go through is the actual highlight start here. I already talked about it a little bit, but I've kind of give you a full map. I can give you the full kind of script for this and plan it out. Obviously I won't on this board, but you'll see it follows a very simple structure. The hook, the origin, the epiphany, the mechanism, and the invite. So we're reframing their annoying DMs. You know, we've talked about this multiple times, but we're reframing all these dead leads as uncollected 5K plus, again, depends on the number, passive sales, by positioning you as the dead lead they ignored once. You know, for example, the student who had cash for a visa and a mentor, whatever, but they're just not for a $2 million villa. So it proves then that the market gap exists, and then it demonstrates that your ecosystem, the digital living listing ecosystem, it demonstrates that as the automated infrastructure that captures this lost revenue they could be getting. And the goal is to sell the partnership. You build the back end of the systems, they own the audience and do the content, and then you split the extra found money without them really lifting a finger. You know, spending a couple hours, like we said, that's about it. And that's everything. You basically do a sequence that shows that through this kind of framework here, the hook, origin, epiphany, mechanism, and then the invite is like, let's partner. But the CTA, I'll probably do a bit soft. I'll probably still push it to a YouTube video. Because again, start here. They've just found you. Who's going to sign a deal when they just found somebody? So you push them to a video.
To get trust for them, for your video.
And then after a longer video, they maybe think, I like this guy. This sounds cool. Let me book a call and talk about it. Instagram stories. I've used mine and other people's for examples here. But this is kind of just like the flywheel. Just, you know, there's no specific amount of framework for these. You're going to be doing stories every single day, of course. But, you know, you basically just all these different types you want to take advantage of. So lifestyle, you've got proof of concept, nurturing, you know, show that you are an authority, you're doing things, you're related to them, show yourself in places that they can go to and they do go to. It can make you relatable to them, and it can also give you talking points. Because if they see your story, you know, let's say you're out for food in a certain place near the Burj, whatever, and they're there, or their highlights there.
They got the I have been there.
Not only that, but you can text them when you're doing outreach, because we're still going to do outreach. This is a bonus. But you can hit them up and like, hey, bro, I love that place. But you're not like a yapper talking shit, because they click on your profile and in your story or on your highlight, you're there in that place. You can even send them the highlight. Press send. Don't screenshot it, you know, like press send. Bro, I love this place. I've just been there.
Targeting people in Dubai will be easier.
Yeah.
Because I can
Yeah, you relate so well to them.
find the points in common with them.
Yes, and then there's a lot more leverage on the fulfillment side as
Yeah.
well, which we spoke about previously. In-person meetings. People out here, maybe just guys, but people in general, they love in-person meetings.
Yeah.
Especially in real estate.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know, other operators worldwide can't do that. You can. So you're going to take advantage of it. Working, just show that you actually do shit.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So it's the same thing.
Sure.
It's kind of lifestyle,
Yeah.
but it's just working. You know, even
Working lifestyle.
mine over the past week.
Yeah.
You know, I've done multiple of these, but showing your laptop.
Yeah.
It could be in a cool place. Again, you don't have to be like super locked in at home working, but just showing something in regards to work. Even if you're not showing work, you could pick up your phone and talk about work. Like, oh, I was doing this today, had this mad thing happen.
Yeah.
You know, you're still building
my
that.
thoughts.
Yes,
My thoughts.
Yes. You're building that belief around work.
Yeah.
And that'll tie into another one in a moment. Client wins, of course, pretty self-explanatory. Talking about it, sharing any kind of wins that you get. You sell an offer, you do
This is for the future, right?
Yes, of course. As you get clients and get results. Talking head, sell, yeah. We just spoke about it.
Yeah.
But just that was more specific to that scenario. But raw talks, very similar to some of the reels that we might do, but just very casual and raw. It feels like you just, picked up the phone to record.
Talk.
XYZ thing just happened. This just happened and it made me think of this. This person just came in, said this wild thing, but it made me relate it to this. And I thought I'd jump on here and talk about it. You know, like that.
And then give value to them.
Then give value.
Yeah.
Storytelling, being relatable, whatever it might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even just have controversial opinions and thoughts where people are either going to be agreeing with you or going against you, but it's going to build it up, you know? So that's your stories. Instagram content formats for your actual reels and stuff. Again, similar to what we just said.
Yeah.
Just picking up the phone. It's like a FaceTime type of thing, super raw.
UEC content, yeah.
Yeah. Picking up, just talking to the camera. We have, this is what I was talking about.
Ah, okay.
Makes sense now?
It's like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a Miro style.
Yeah.
So your camera would be up here and then the Miro about here.
Sick.
It's kind of like a loom, but it's not like a little circle. It's, double. So that's how that is. Obviously this is coaching style as well, because there's two people looking at the screen.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The
same.
Whether it's one guy, two, whatever it might be. So that's what that is. We have this kind of green screen style that I kind of like.
Yeah.
And I think there's unique ways we can, play with this. I've not written, I don't think, any specific ideas on this.
Yeah.
But I think the format will work really well for you.
Yeah.
So I think we need to look around with it. But there's a million things straight away. Like, you can kind of rate, if you like, and analyze people who are maybe in Dubai who do coaching. And this is where kind of the ICP thing comes out the window. It's like, oh, I could talk about just, coaches in Dubai, right? Who aren't real estate, who aren't Spanish, or they can be, whatever. And just give your opinion on them. Go, oh, this guy's a scammer. This guy's not a scammer, whatever. And it starts building up. These are kind of your top of funnel. These are going to get views, but probably not clients. But when you then pair that with the other content, it helps.
Yeah.
But you can also do these in more niche ways. You could find, for example, right, let's say a huge, Spanish realtor in Dubai who's popping off. Do this type of video about that content and say, let's say,
you can that.
Let me say for you, right? Say you're a huge Spanish realtor in Dubai, you only sell properties. I do this type of content. I pick up my camera, you're on the screen, your Instagram, and I say Alvaro is missing out on $72,000 per month just because he's not doing this one thing.
Yeah.
And then I explain it. All I would do if I was him,
right?
Yeah. If I was Alvaro, all I would do is change this on my profile, change this. I would add a funnel link in my bio, blah, 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 blah. And I would passively, from a couple hours extra a week, make another X amount per month. That's another idea from this style. Like there's so many, video ideas that I would have for you in this style. Some stuff that's super broad and some stuff that's super neat.
Yeah.
Either way. And you can apply that to other formats too. But I think this is quite interactive. It's fun and it's easy to pick up the phone and do it.
So easy.
We have kind of I call it raw horizontal, but people call this a million different things. So whatever.
Our meetings,
Yeah. You can do a lot of different things. People will do kind of any kind of idea, like talking head ideas. They'll change it in this format.
I can start also a podcast with one Spanish realtor, for example.
Yes. And you have this setup here.
Yeah.
I should move the mouse, but you've got this kind of setup. Yeah, you're talking to them. You're coaching them live. Exactly. But you can use this format for everything. I would probably lean more into doing what you just said and also just much more raw talk.
Yeah.
Like, you see, the reason you're stuck below 6 figures a month, these are going to be videos where, like, you'll still have a hook because obviously it's obvious, but not on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, so this style video, say the camera there, for example,
Yeah.
I would have you just turn it on and just kind of have a raw talk
Yeah.
to somebody in person in a meeting, or just you talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, you're stuck below this amount as a Spanish realtor because you can't go above that. You don't have enough time in the day to sell more property.
Yeah.
But you just talk about it raw, and then you edit it afterwards. And it's like you weren't talking and like planning a script in like a short form content style. You could yap for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it turns into these kind of raw clips, you know?
Yeah.
But again, there's so much different types you
could
could do.
that. Yeah.
Some ideas that I've written down, these are very basic, honestly, but it's just things that you get started with. Because I want to, we want to find out what works and what matches your style, personality, and then we can hammer it.
Yeah.
But without you doing content yet, it's harder for us to go down that road.
Yeah.
So I've given you some kind of more broad ideas here. So Max, you know, it's focusing on views is keeping you from scaling.
Okay.
Which is very different from what you can say here, but it still ties in the same kind of format. Focusing on real estate is stopping you from scaling.
Yeah.
Which sounds stupid, which is why it's good. Because then it's going to get their attention, like, well, I'm a real estate coach.
Yeah.
So instantly you've got that, because they're going to think, oh, I do real estate, so I can't scale that real estate. But then you can introduce the idea of, okay, if you actually spend a little bit less time in real estate, you're still making the same amount, but you do coaching and it doubles or triples how much you're making, but you're actually spending less time, you know, whatever. You're not focused on it as well.
And you can work worldwide.
Exactly. There's so much pros to it. So it's like a controversial hook, and you get them in. X mistakes that I see Spanish real estate coaches make.
Yeah.
You could technically just do X mistakes that I see Spanish realtors make, and then you could include one of them being not coaching. It just depends.
Yeah.
But I'll probably do this one first and just see how it goes. You know, he's a millionaire hypnotist learns ads. So I've done like millionaire Spanish realtor learns X. Now, the reason I filled in the blank there is because I always do what you said, like have a kind of a raw video like this, raw talk, podcast style. Honestly, just have a meeting, give free value to somebody and record it, and then take clips out of it and you change this based on what you talk about. I don't want you to go into it talking about something based on an idea I've given you. I would rather you give them advice about like, you know, millionaire Spanish realtor learns funnels, learns content, learns ads, like whatever. But whatever you teach them, whatever they ask, it then turns into the idea. We need to work backwards, basically, reverse engineering. How we added 45K per month to the Spanish realtor with coaching. Yeah. And then it's just you breaking it down again, Myro style.
This is a use case, right? This a study case.
Yes, it's a case study, but without the interview. It's just you talking about it. Exactly. So that's
some kind of this board, right? That you have to prepare for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the Instagram. We'll get through this one a lot quicker. There's not tons of different stories and posts, but YouTube. So obviously you don't even have a YouTube at the moment. So again, very difficult for me to plan it out, but I've done what I can to kind of build this up. So straight away, channel. Right now I've used this photo. I think long term, I would definitely have much more of like a business cover photo for you. Like, so if you have like
working, or can be a mix. Working, lifestyle.
Yeah, but that's still kind of like a vlog channel style, right? Yeah. What I mean by that is more in regards of like, say you turn it into an agency, you have a logo and stuff, you have this become like a professional like logo and text or whatever.
It's better to have like agency YouTube or personal. Personal
YouTube, but like I don't mean agency account, like this is still gonna be your name and everything, but it's just the cover photo because it ties it to the business, if that makes sense. Everything else is personal and whatever else. Yeah. But it's like, this isn't doing anything for us, having a photo at the top. We still need to have it, and this is better than the alternatives I could find, for example. But it's like, if we have it be, you know, something else, nobody's going to see it from a YouTube video, but if like a coach clicks on it or something, a Spanish realtor, whatever, oh, what's this? You get what I mean? Yeah. It then introduces a business side to it, and they can work with you. But it's not
This is not a lifestyle channel.
Exactly. That's the point, yes. We're not trying to sell anything. So, yeah, the banner, I've got lifestyle authority image, but we can change it later on. Bio, it's pretty much the same thing as the Instagram. I've removed like the device Spain thing, but that's just because I wanted it to show this straight away. You get what I mean? If we had that be the top line, on YouTube it only shows a little bit first until you click on it. So if we had like Spain to Dubai, it would only show that, and that's not going to do much for us. Yeah. So I removed it and just had it be, you know, the same as the Instagram. I help Spanish realtors.
Yeah, this is much better.
But we changed it from, you know, see more below, whatever it was on Instagram, to DM the ecosystem for more info with the arrow down. Because then they click on the Instagram, they DM you on that. And then that can start up a automated or manual sequence or having a setter. Yes. So this is going to be your YouTube VSL. Obviously, I know it's not you. but it's because I'm trying to give you the format.
Yeah.
So I want you to have your YouTube VSL be the pinned post. Obviously, the title would be something like this. Your description, very, very simple. I put work with me with your Calendly or cal.com link. Follow my Instagram with your Instagram link. And then you'll have pinned playlists. And obviously, if you don't have client results yet, you won't have this. But client results long term would be pinned because it's going to nurture people massively more than anything else. And then value.
Explaining things.
Yeah. Giving people help, any kind of ideas you can give them, methods, talking through it, solving problems, handling objections. That's going to be pinned as well. But again, these will be swapped for now if you don't have results. Now, the actual YouTube VSL that I've just shown you here, I've written how I turn dead leads into 50K per month for Spanish realtors. Copy me. Now, this is not a video that's ever going to do 1 million views. It's super niche. But again, we're not trying to be. So we're going to have a few different title ideas and try a few different things. But this is basically the video that we're going to push everybody to. All your other YouTube videos are going to lead here. All your content on Instagram, your highlights.
My VSL.
Everything's going to lead here. So the angle, it stops trying to sell a course and it starts an audit of their business waste. These leads they're wasting, we've been through it. We prove that their annoying DMs are actually 30, 50K plus in uncollected revenue. The mechanism, obviously we position the digital listing ecosystem not as just more work and extra bullshit, but as an automated infrastructure that captures this money for them while they sleep. They do nothing. They can go travel, like you said. They're not working on commission. The logic, we're then shifting their belief. It's shifting the decision from, do I like this kid or who's this guy, to can I afford to keep losing this money? We don't want them to focus on, you know, I'm Alvaro, here's my offer, here's how much I charge. You want them to focus on what they're saving and making. Decision from, do I like this kid, to can I afford to keep losing money? Because you want to take away the aim from you to like the model and then making more money and whatever else. You know what I mean? So as soon as you can switch that and belief shift it to that, you're good to go. Whereas when it focuses on like he's me, he's how much I charge. There's gonna be problems.
I got it.
And then it's gonna be set out, you know, like these kind of raw style videos, which is why I put, you know, Sue Ware's thumbnail there as the example. You could write it, the title sort of thing. We wouldn't use the exact title, but you know, dead leads, arrow, 50K a month, for example, that type of thing. Some formats I'd like you to do. My robot, where you talk about it, rotor. Sorry, I've not written the right descriptions under these because I wasn't going to do them, but whatever. Case study interviews as well with your clients and stuff once you get them. Live coaching. So
in Dubai, can I go with a good place and then I can record?
Yes, exactly. Remember, you can do these online too. In person's always going to be better, but you can do like a call recording or something just to make sure you can do it more often. And then you've got talking head, selfie style yap, just giving advice, handling objections, shifting beliefs. You know, if someone asks you a question, you could just jump on it and be like, oh, I've been asked this today, walking around the marina in Dubai. Super cool video. Not going to get many views, but it's raw. And then if you get a DM at some point or somebody's wondering a certain question. Yeah, bro, I answered this in this video. You send them, you know. So some ideas I've written for you. I'll speed through these now. We'll end this off. It's been super long, but from 0 to X with this Spanish real estate coaching biz, you know, in this kind of form. Watch me build her. It's a female. You know, X amount per month real estate coaching biz in X amount of minutes. If I wanted to hit 80K per month with real estate coaching, this is what I do, full breakdown. Now, I haven't put Spanish here. We can kind of niche down a bit more with this, but for now, I've written it this way. Stop being a commission slave. That's why you're losing millions to the purist realtor trap. You know, they have like a kind of a paper barrier. They have these like limiting beliefs and, you know, reasons they don't do it. It's a raw yap of you explaining like, why? You know, let me break those beliefs. And then I've written you an outro here. I can just send you a doc with this, and obviously you'll get the full thing, the wall as well. But you know, I'll post it. Now look, if you're a Spanish real estate coach or creator, and you realize you've been throwing away 30 to 50K every month because you don't have a back end to handle your relocation traffic, let's talk. Now, relocation traffic will probably change, to be fair, but I'm looking for exactly 2 partners this month, which again obviously can change, to install the digital listing ecosystem for a $0 setup cost. We build the machine, my sales team closes the deals, and we only get paid when you do. If you want that infrastructure, click the link below and book a call with me now. And if you're watching this and find it even slightly intriguing, but you don't want to make the move and work with us yet, all good. I've recorded a full breakdown on exactly how I turn dead leads into 50K per month for Spanish realtors. So you can just copy me. Click the video on the screen right now or in the link below to watch that, and I'll see you in the next one. Really good. Because we're pushing them to the funnel, and if they don't go to it, okay, we've got another video for you.
They can
be nurtured more.
It's watching
and it boosts your views. YouTube loves it when people spend more time on your channel. Okay, we're at the end here. I'm just going to finish this off real quick because I was going to just move on and do this in a separate time, but we'll just yap through it to the end. We already done this acquisition tracker.
Yeah.
This is literally yours.
Yeah, this is my
You build out your
leads. Yeah.
Yes, we also have the Google Sheet version, but we've been using Notion at the moment.
Yeah.
A bit simpler. We have a very advanced for people watching. Different tracking sheets with attached to dashboards where it automates the scheduled follow-ups and things. But again, we're using a very simple version right now on Notion. It's just simple. So once you've got all the names in here, which obviously you've been doing, you've got like over 50 names already. We then want to kind of move forward with the hybrid strategy.
Yeah.
Now we've spoken about this a little bit, and some of the guys will know this. I've made videos about it. Everyone tells you do this, do that. Copy and paste, or doing this way, doing that way. For you with this niche, I would do a hybrid strategy, which means you're going to combine the sniper approach and the evergreen approach. So that the dream clients, the top 10%, you want to do high effort, high reward. Yeah. So we're going to find them. We're going to look at everything they're doing right now, do a deep audit completely, and find the biggest leak. So if they're already doing coaching, for example, we'll find the bottlenecks and opportunities, fix it for them. So we give them a value asset. We don't pitch anything or try and sell them. We just solve a very specific problem for them, give them the value that they can then turn into making more money, whatever. And then coffee close I've written. Obviously, this is going to be only in certain circumstances, but I think it's a cool way for you to do it. Yeah. You want to leverage your location for an in-person meeting. Yeah. Not pitching them at all. It's like, oh, hey, Roy, I found some other stuff. So if you want, I could even meet up with you, blah, blah, blah. And they should be pretty open to it. I think they will be in general, but also if you just solved the problem for them, give them value, they've got results from it, made some money, of course they'll have a meeting. You then give them more value, and then you can then explain your offer. And I don't want you to do some crazy pitch. Yeah. You kind of want to just explain it and kind of have them invite themselves to work with you, if that makes sense, rather than you pitch them. Now, very similar on the other side, but it's more of an evergreen approach. So if the other 90%, the good leads, we want to do a high volume and a high efficiency approach because we still want to get the numbers out there, but we don't want to focus on that just, only doing that because then we're lacking with a value approach. So even this then splits into two branches. I'll start on the right-hand side. This is the evergreen loom, the VSL loom. We find the biggest leak, whatever, that everybody has. Yeah. The evergreen asset we deliver. So it's kind of a long 10, 15, even 20-minute. It's kind of just a VSL. Yeah. You breaking it down. Now, because your ICP is going to be super, super niche, even though this is a broad video that can go to everybody, copy and paste, it still feels like it's personalized, even though it isn't. You know what I'm saying? Because it's such a small ICP. And then the compound loom, it's the exact same video, but we add a small intro on the top, on the start.
This is for the 10%.
Yes. So not even the 10%. The 10% we do fully custom, but out of the 90%, let's say half of them, are really good, half of them aren't as good, you then split it up. Yeah. The percentage kind of depends on you. Yeah. There's no number. You can do it whatever way you like, but it's like, oh, these guys are good, let me deliver extra, I've got extra time, okay, do it. If you're out, you don't have extra time, don't not send it. You could still send them in video. But 60 seconds, 1, 2 minute little personalized intro at the start, giving them some personalized value and relating to them is going to add a lot. So these are the two types. You want to do both. And then you have the win-win call to action I want you to implement with this style video. So you have two rewarding options, both provide value, neither allows ignoring. So what that means is basically, if you liked what you're hearing, blah, 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 we can meet up or we can jump in a call, anything like that. If you didn't like it, if this doesn't sound good or it's confusing, you want to basically invite them to DM you, They're not going to be whatever.
Sorry. You can repeat again?
Yeah, I will.
Because they will start.
Yeah. No. And then for both, we have the win-win T tier, which is like two rewarding options. So both of these provide value, neither of them allows ignoring. So the whole point is, okay, did you like what you're hearing? If you like this video or you like the value, you want to implement this, whatever, you can do X, Y, and Z thing. Yeah. DM me this and I'll send over this asset, this document. I've made you this thing. I'll send it over. Just DM me this if you liked it. If you didn't like it, this doesn't make sense to you. This isn't something you want to do right now. Don't ignore me. I completely get it. I want to know it's bad. I don't want to send it to other people or annoy you if this isn't good. Because I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow and check how it was. If it was no good and you're not interested, I'd rather know. So if that's the scenario, DM me X, reply with whatever thing, and I will, again, X, Y, and Z. So we give them another rewarding option. Now, obviously, it can't be kind of related to your offer now because they're not interested. So what we do, if they're confused or not interested, we give them a different thing. So we'll for example, give them a Starbucks, gift cards.
Yeah.
It's just, so it still feels like it was worth their time to watch the video. And
To be
keep that-
different. To be
It
different.
keeps that relationship.
Yeah.
If it was not all valuable to you, I'll give you this thing. But then when they do that, you then have a conversation and you kind of want to make sure that it's not valuable, because it might just be a case of they don't understand, it's confusing, whatever. Because if you're super specific with your ICP and you're confident, you know your offer's good, you should never have somebody say it's not good.
Yeah.
So it'll just be confusion. They don't understand it. They don't think it can apply to them. You jump on a short call with them. Yeah, bro, like, I'm happy to send that over. Can I just jump on and have a quick chat with you to understand it, just to make sure I don't have this problem again?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it all makes sense. I probably haven't made it, clear enough. Then you break it down to them. This is actually what it means.
And I can solve all the objections there.
Yes, and you still have another opportunity. Obviously, if they still don't want to go ahead and they're unhappy, it doesn't make sense. Get them a gift card. It's worth it. It's worth the market research. But chances are that won't happen. Literally never happens. But then ideally, again,
the coffee close.
the coffee clause I've written. Leverage your location, in-person meeting, more value, explaining your offer. You can do it online as well, but with being in Dubai, it's just a no-brainer. I won't go into this. I was going to plan out kind of how to actually, sell to them, partner with them, and then onboard them. But we'll keep this, shorter. So once you've sent that, you can then use omnichannel follow-ups.
Yeah.
So when you send that initial message or the Loom video, whatever it is,
through
you then-
Instagram, email.
yes, we send out the first message. So whether that's on email or Instagram, it depends. Obviously, on this example graphic, I've done email. And then you basically ramp up into a different sequence. So you want to kind of map it out like this so you can follow it all the time. But okay, we send the initial outreach, and then after that, we send the follow-up on that platform. And at the same time as the follow-up, we send the initial outreach on a different platform.
Yeah.
That's the main two platforms. And then the third follow-up, we introduce different platforms as well. We want to hit them up everywhere. Now, not spamming them. It comes, if you just spam on one platform, it's like...
We will appear in all of their platforms.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're giving value everywhere. You've got to remember, this is just for the Loom video.
Yeah.
Because once they see the Loom video, it's wraps. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to go. If they're not interested, it's fine. But we need them to see it at least. Please see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously I could go into more in depth here. I don't want to make this super long. But that's why the messaging and your Loom, in the first place, your slide deck, if you like, your Miro board, are so important, more than anybody else realizes. So once you do all of this, you have your content in place, your branding in place, your outbound, your acquisition, you've got the right clients, your ICPs dialed in, everything we've talked about today, and obviously we're going to talk about in the future as well. We need to kind of set up your funnel. This needs to be in place. Now, the initial setup's going to be pretty obvious. Whoa. Whoa.
Job.
I know. We're literally done, by the way. Like, it's just like one slide. So, I can't remember what I'm saying. Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. So you need to put a funnel in place at the start. I don't want this to take you any sort of time and waste time and, take a long time to set up. So we're going to have a very, very basic funnel. Obviously, you've already got a Gmail or whatever. So we've got your Instagram. We're going to have your YouTube set up once you follow the SOP today. And obviously, you've got DMs as well. We want to have ManyChat or something similar. You can even use the Go High Level account that we give you for free. You can use that and leverage that. It's got like a very similar ManyChat system in there. So you can use that for free. You don't even have to get ManyChat. Either way, though. Reason for that, when you do CTAs and highlights, stories, reels, you can push people into the YouTube VSL, the YouTube videos in general, and everything like that. So then all of these things push into your calendar, which obviously we've been through a little bit today.
Yeah.
So we're cal.com or Calendly, we set up the calendar fully, and then from your email newsletters or your emails, we push them there. From your DMs, we push them there or them DMing you. From your YouTube videos, push them. Instagram can push directly, but it'll also mainly push to the YouTube.
Yeah.
And it'll also push to a CTA, to the YouTube, and then to the calendar. And these are just there to ensure you get the best leads through. We don't want to just get anybody.
I want to bring all people to my Calendly.
Yes.
Basically.
But through extra assets, they're learning on the way there. We don't have random unqualified leads. And then you want to have a very simple, pre-call page. This is one of mine, but you don't have to have it super in-depth like this, super advanced. You don't even need like a website or a landing page. You could set up a Google Doc or a Gamma Doc at the start and just have like a Loom or something. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it super simple. Gamma's probably better because you can embed the videos in the Gamma. Free. Yeah. It's AI, so you type it all in, it'll make it for you.
To pre-qualify the clients before they call,
yes,
right?
give them the information. Make sure you're not getting on random BS calls, and just, nurture them as well, pre-sell them, handle objections. So when they turn up to the call, they're good to go. Yeah. You pretty much just have to answer a few questions and sign the deal.
Yep.
And then from there, You message them on WhatsApp manually for any questions,
Yeah.
resources, nurturing, pre-call, and obviously sending manual reminders as well.
Yeah, to be personal, right? To be.
Yes, exactly. Obviously,
Yeah.
like this is B2B, this is agency.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing this for an offer, it'd be very different. I'm just trying to give you the blueprint of like,
Yeah.
how do you have a system in place right now
Yeah.
for like your B2B offer, working with the clients, coaches, but without taking tons of time building everything out.
Yeah.
Because otherwise this is
Yeah.
going to take forever. So you have that, and then you also have the emails going out. We'll usually have Kit for like an automated sequence to pre-sell, nurture, handle objections. And then you can have your time-based reminders in Go High Level, or you can have it natively inside Calendly or Cal.com, depending on which one you use. But again, not a big deal. You have the call, and obviously, I won't go into these, pretty self-explanatory. If they close, you onboard them. If they don't close, you can get some sort of deposit from them. But if you're not doing a setup fee, it's not going to make much sense. Follow-ups, no-shows. But again, you're pushing them into manual and automated post-call flow sequences. But these aren't a priority right this second. But that's pretty much everything I've written down today. We'll break, obviously, much more of this down this week and in the future in depth. But some things I wanted to kind of give you here and write down, just kind of quick action steps. First off, I want you to kind of over the next couple of days, I mean, while I'm still here, get the infrastructure and identity set up. So just optimize your profiles. That's going to be the main thing, and create them at the end of the day. Asset prep. So you can start finalizing and kind of building out the plan and the math for everything. Recording your unintentional base. So this isn't exactly meant to be in like phase 1, 2, 3, it's forever, I guess. This just means like kind of understand and start out recording unintentional content. It just means turning the camera on pretty much. Even if you use your phone, right? You're on your laptop, have your phone set up. Just start doing that. Phase 2 is your anchor asset. So set up and record your YouTube VSL, which I have in a doc actually. Did I include it here? No. The YouTube VSL I want you to actually create and record following the framework. And I'll give you the full doc. I've not shown it today, but I'll give you that. The waterfall engine. So I showed you the content strategy, turn YouTube videos into all the short form. You want to be using that. So not only can you record short form, you can also take your long form video and literally just clip it up and turn it in. So you have so much more content. Extracting not only short form, but also written posts. Tech stack setup. So you can start getting your account set up and mapping out the funnel. Pretty simple tech stack. It's Calendly, and then if you're using Zoom, Google Meet, whatever, and you want to make sure you add questions to the Calendly or the cal.com, just so it's not like, oh, name, email, book a call. You want to know more information about them, you know, which I can help you add those questions in later on. But you want to actually understand who you're talking to. Phase 3 is audit and acquisition. So posting your first kind of content pieces, creating curiosity, things like that, talking to your ICP. Obviously doing a lot more market research as well. Identifying your top targets, but you've kind of worked backwards. You've already kind of done this, so this is fine. But then this is when you kind of initially start sending out the personalized stuff. You kind of video
First, I have to build my personal brand, right?
Not
and
exactly
then I start,
it's not exactly building your personal brand, as in, I don't want you to go out and get followers. It's just reframing it and having the identity there. So when we do make the initial move here and start the outreach, they've got something to see. You know, you'll leverage your authority and like your landing page, if you like, is the most important thing. Like, people try these different outreach strategies and everything, but if you ask someone to actually think about who they reply to and you look at the message, the message is probably yo. That's it. Yo is such a bad message. I would never tell anybody to send that. But the issue is, it's not about that. Because if a guy has...
It's about the final landing page,
If you're from the same town as me, right, and you're popping off or something and you text me, yo, I'll answer. If some video editor in India's hitting me up, like, oh, can I edit your video for free? Saying yo, probably not answer them. Not because I have any issue with them, it's because someone else edited my video right now. I'm not interested. I don't care. I don't see the value in it. So, you know, you've got to understand the framing and the identity of it. Obviously, yes, use good outreach strategies. That's what we're going into, you know, today and obviously in the future as well. And you want to build all this stuff out. But your identity is the foundation of it. If you create some crazy, you know, luxury skyscraper, but the bottom of it's shaky, that shit's going to fall no matter how good it is.
For sure.
So we need to build that first. But again, I don't want you, this is like days 1 to 3 only. Don't waste time doing crazy content. Just get like the raw, simple stuff out first. Then you can kind of work hand in hand doing outreach and helping with the branding stuff a bit more. Don't focus too much. But yeah, doing the kind of hyper personalized, you know, stuff first for the dream clients. Nurture sequence, moving prospects from the reels into the YouTube, pushing them through the funnel, and then feedback and scale. That's all. Obviously, this is a longer timeline here, but I don't want to go too in depth. I'll give you the plan for it. But timeline wise, make a move with this stuff first. We then want to audit and get feedback on, first off, your actual content and your branding, how it looks when you're finished. as well as how the outreach is going?
Yeah.
Are you getting any calls booked? Are you meeting people in Dubai, getting a
Yeah.
coffee with them? Are you
Yeah.
closing anybody?
I have to do
Everything.
both things at the same time.
Yeah.
First start
but
sending
carefully.
my first looms and then reframing my Instagram on my funnel.
Perfect. Yes.
Right?
Exactly. But I don't want you to go and think, oh, let me do it all at once and it's going to get confusing.
Yeah.
As long as you follow it like this,
Yeah.
days 1 to 3, set it up and then start the outreach. And when you finish the outreach, you hit Instagram's limit, for example, whatever, you can then record a few short, raw type of content.
Yeah. Got it.
Objection refinement, record intentional talking head videos sometimes as well, addressing specifically the kind of different objections you might get, like I don't have time or the leads are trash.
Yeah.
All the things that have been surfaced through the outreach, like, hey man, you want to jump on a call and go through this thing?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that because da-da-da-da-da. You can then make content about it.
Yeah.
I hit this guy up the other day and he was doing this. Oh, you're probably thinking that you can't do this because of this.
Yeah.
Here's the truth. You want to talk like that. And then you can start systemizing it, hiring teams and whatever.
Yeah.
But this is just like hiring a clipper.
And then
It's not too important, honestly. I've written it down.
Yeah.
But this isn't too deep. This is just going to be turning your YouTube content into other content.
yeah.
But we'll we'll audit kind of how your other content's performing first before we do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just going to be something that will allow you to do more passively and make more money and more partnerships, whatever, and help you scale at the end of the day. But yeah, that's everything mapped out. So that's everything for today. I've obviously got a lot more to go through with you, and I have Google Docs of all the stuff in that I've made.
That's pretty sick, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of me talking. I'm yapping. If we try to get through this quick, it's like, what, 20 past midnight here?
Yeah.
So there's probably people watching if I even put this video up. But hopefully it's been a good one. It's a lot of me yapping on.
Yeah.
But I'm sending all this stuff over to Delver afterwards. And obviously we've talked about it up until this point. So if I'm like assuming things, it's because we've had discussions already.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm going to be helping you get all this set up. And I'm sure we'll be checking in soon too. And hopefully getting some sort of interview done as well. We pops off, get some wins.
Yeah, let's do that.
Exactly. But I appreciate every time, brother.
Yeah.
We'll jump on. We'll catch everybody soon. I'm going to be doing more content. If you want to be doing this, jumping on, working me one-on-one, obviously the link's below as well. I don't know if it'll be live right now. Maybe it's a wait list. We'll see. But we'll go from there. But yeah, hope it's been a good one. I appreciate you all. Catch you after.
Bye.
Peace the fuck out.